So I get into an accident, right? Or I have a friend that gets into an accident, and they want to pick up the phone and they want to call you, right? They want to call a CEO lawyer, but they are thinking there's absolutely no way. I'm hardly making any money at all. I can't afford an attorney like CEO lawyer. Can they, or are there other attorneys that they should turn to first?
Here's the thing. There are lawyers that advertise no fee unless we win, right? Like, we're not going to charge you any penny up front unless we win your case. And this is a free, they'll have like a ticket, like, hey, this is a free admission to hiring our firm. Everyone does that. Okay. Everyone works on a contingency. There's a difference between contingency billing and then hourly billing, like a retainer, right? So corporate lawyers, real estate attorneys, wills, trusts, and estates, immigration lawyers, they all have retainers and they have either set fees or hourly rates for the work that they perform. Whereas personal injury lawyers work on a contingency. So they just charge you a percentage of the overall recovery.
Okay.
That's it. And every lawyer works that way. And so the only decision that you really have to make is, am I hiring someone that actually knows what they're doing and they're going to give me the best possible result? Or is this someone that cares more about their bottom line, how can they make so much money, so much profits, and just kind of push clients, to the side? And the only thing that you can really trust is what other people have said. Mm-hmm. So if you go online and look at people's Google reviews, and you go and see their online presence, it's kind of a red flag nowadays if a lawyer does not have a social media presence. It's like, I don't know anything about you. Mm-hmm. You've been running TV ads for 30 years. You've been running the same stick over and over and over again. I don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. And so you can very quickly get a pulse of the lawyer that you're going to work with and hire, and you can actually contact and communicate them from your phone on social media. Mm-hmm. You want to know something crazy? Last night at 9:45 p.m., a client messaged me from jail.
Okay. On Instagram?
On Instagram.
Okay.
It's a client that I already represent. And we've been trying to reach this client for 3 months because we got a settlement offer on his case. And in order to continue negotiating, we need to get permission. So this case has been at a stall for the past 3 months, at a standstill, because we have to get his approval. So he finally messages me and says, hey man, sorry, I got into a little bit of trouble. This is so-and-so. I want to get an update on my case. I'm like, well, thank you for reaching out. I need to confirm that you're actually this person. What's your date of birth? Gave me the date of birth. What's the date of the accident? Gave me the date of the accident. I'm like, all right, so I've verified that this person is actually legit.
And this is you going back and forth?
This is me going back and forth. Yeah, I actually message my clients and I respond to the comments. Like, it's kind of obnoxious how much time I spend on Instagram and Facebook responding to people.
I love that.
But that's how I get a pulse of whether people, are buying what I'm putting down.
Yeah. Well, I think that's real also.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have your hands on your own clients.
For sure. And right. I enjoy it. That's the other thing. If I was just doing this just for business, then I don't think I would last that long. But the person who enjoys running is always going to be the person that simply enjoys winning. Mm-hmm. Right? So finally, I got his approval, texted him back and forth. And if this were any other situation, a lawyer that did not have access to Instagram, did not have a memorable name, did not have a brand that was verified on Instagram, he would not have any way of communicating with this person because he's single, no kids, has no family, no friends. But he was able to communicate with me. And now that we got that communication, we can continue negotiating the case, get him the maximum settlement, and I'm going to go meet him personally in jail and show him the settlement check and make sure that it gets deposited and take care of him.
I love that.
That's the difference with leveraging technology, using social media, verifying that you're working with someone that's the real deal. And it was just an awesome story because I know when he gets out, he's going to give us an awesome testimonial. Yeah. I can't wait for it.
So tell me more about using the technology also, because you know what? Accidents aren't convenient. They don't happen always between business hours. Yeah. So you said this dude was kind of late at night, but how about somebody at 2:30 or 3 in the morning? Do you always have somebody picking up the phone and checking Instagram?
Yeah, 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a very robust team at this point. So even when I'm sleeping, we have people working nonstop, managing messages, managing all of our calls. So it doesn't matter when you get in an accident, day or night, if you need us 24/7, we're available, especially on holidays and weekends.
Are these attorneys or are these people just picking up and taking a name?
Attorneys, paralegals, case managers, across the board.
Is that different than other companies where you actually can get in touch with an attorney right off the bat?
I was making a decision on whether to lower because we have US-based staff and then we have overseas staff. And so overseas staff work different hours. It's easier for them to work nights. And so we also have some attorneys that are on call that are available on nights and weekends for the more serious, drastic, kind of like being on call as a doctor. Mm-hmm. I was trying to make the decision whether we should have our intake team stay open till 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. on the US. And the U.S. team right now is up from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day, Monday through Sunday. And I was trying to decide, well, if I shave off this extra hour at the very end, I think my team will be happier. They can kind of go to bed a little bit sooner, spend more time with family, and we could figure out the hours. Until a client that was involved in a tractor trailer accident called me at 10:13 p.m., said that the reason they called me was because they couldn't reach this major advertising law firm that spends the most money on advertising, and they were unavailable, so they decided to call me 10:13. At 10:17, they were connected with my intake team, and we were already completing the paperwork. By 10:21, they were my client.
That is fantastic.
And so I'm like, yeah, we're going to keep this thing open for as long as possible. And eventually, we want to stay 24 hours like across the board. But when we're going to our international vacation, I'm taking my entire team to an international vacation for our end of year party.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going?
It's secret. I'm not telling you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody in the firm is going?
And their families.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone in the firm and their families, I'm taking all of them to, and this is their kids, their spouses, to an international vacation, all inclusive. And we have enough of an infrastructure with overseas team members where they can still run the firm while we're gone for those 3-4 days. And so my overseas team will have their own international party as well.
Oh, wow. That is really, really
So
cool.
we really try to, build that culture. It's kind of hard doing it
Yeah.
as a virtual law firm to actually build a culture. But I really do think this is going to be the blueprint for how other law firms are going to function in the future. Because the traditional brick and mortar, old school advertising, just everyone comes into the office and stuck to the chair from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Dude, that shit's for the birds. No one wants to do that anymore. And our best employees are mothers with young children. And those people will not be able to work a traditional 8 to 5 Monday through Friday because they're not going to be able to take their kids to school. They're not going to be home for dinner consistently every single time. They're going to be stressed, wear and tear on the car. They want to spend more time with their kids. They're not going to be able to leave for lunchtime or go put their kid down for a nap if they need to. And all of those are added benefits of being able to work from home. But what I've also found is that they're very serious about their work during the time that they're supposed to be working. Because it's like, look, I'm doing this to support my family. So the time that I'm going to invest in my work, I'm going to do the absolute best job. Because once 5 p.m. hits, like I'm signed off, it's family time. And so we've just found a very strong positive correlation between moms of young children that are the best employees that we have.
Wow.